Hello, hello. What's up, landlords? Renee here doing my weekly landlording live pregame kind of thing. And I just need a moment to get set up. I'll be right back.
Recording in progress.
If anybody jumps on here. What I was going to do today is first, I think I'm going to say that maybe I might do an adjustment to these lives. I might stop doing them because I got a part-time job that I'm probably going to be doing over the weekends, working nights for extra income. And maybe I'm just going to do the videos that I do when I help landlords just one-on-one and like a case-by-case basis. Like I just met with this young man named Andrew last night, and we spoke for an hour. I gave him a bunch of free helpful tips, just helping him out and just looking out for other DIY landlords. And maybe I'll talk about that a little bit. But these like weekly calls, it's kind of, I'm trying to get a routine. I'm like, all right, I just got to power through and do it. But then I'm starting to think, like, is it worth it? Like, maybe I need to adapt, who knows? I might come back to it, circle back, whatever. But today what I was going to do is share some recent maintenance things that I went over with my rentals, and just kind of like, hey, this is things that came up and how I handled it as a self-managing DIY landlord. And I'm not just driving over there to handle every little thing. I'm trying to be like hands off with stuff. And if there's still some time, I might mention a little bit of the talk I had with Andrew. He's out of Texas, and he has a single family rental that he's about to start listing, and he's learning lots of stuff. So let me look at my notes here. Okay, so I want to point out what I've referenced many times. I say LIPS. It's something I kind of do naturally, but I try to break it down into an acronym. It's listen, isolate, proof, probe, solve. So when issues come up, which I'll just mention them all right now. One of the properties last summer, they said it really wasn't cooling good. And now that we're, into spring, coming into summer, the tenant reached out, said, hey, we've already scheduled the annual HVAC service. They said everything's good. We're just worried about this summer. We're cooking right now. It's kind of hot in here, and we're just wondering if there's anything we could do. And I was like, yeah, there's some things we could do. And I had a back and forth, and I followed this kind of acronym, listening to them, trying to isolate what exactly the problem via email, and always working within my business hours, and getting, proof of anything I can think of that might help me, resolve the issue, because I want to get them involved. And what ended up happening with that one is I suggested them doing an energy audit with the local utility company. and getting them involved and say, hey, will you schedule that? It's free. It's something they do. They'll go ahead and go around the house and look and see if there's anything you could do to improve. If there's anything that they bring up that I can address, I can work with you and see how we can handle that. And I said, in the meantime, so instead of waiting for them, I can get somebody to come out there and check the attic. And I already knew, because I track with my rental repair forecaster, that I knew the insulation in the attic is old and it's at its end of life, and I need to address that. So I've already been calculating that, and I kind of already know, and the tenants help me take care of the property better. But at the same time, I want to take care of them. So I'm not going to wait for the financial audit, the energy audit to happen. So I went ahead and said, hey, we can also schedule some installation quotes and get them up there, and they'll inspect everything. And I went through that process. They were very thankful. Thank you so much. I hope this stuff works. They shared the technicians a report and said, hey, the HVAC is perfect. It's sized perfect. There's no problems. There's no leaks and anything like that. They also said that they replaced the air filter, and I put them into my my newsletter where it says, some other energy saving tips and stuff. So they're kind of like showing that they're on top of this and they don't understand. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's got to be the insulation. And something else I learned from this, looking back, hindsight, I never had a rental property where we installed the black shingles. This roof was recently replaced, and I realized now, oh man, that's something I learned. So now when I get rental properties or I'm replacing roofs, don't do a black roof, even though it looks cool and it's going to, match the trim or the neighborhood or look more modern and stuff like that, because it's actually going to attract heat more. And I never thought about that until now. I'm thinking like, man, why this summer? Why? I don't understand. I knew it was getting to the end of its life expectancy. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I need to make sure I avoid black roofs. And so that's just part of the game. You kind of make mistakes, you learn. But anyways, the technician came out. He says, hey, it's going to be like $2,500 to redo the insulation when spray it in. It's going to be really thick. And I'm already moving forward with that. I said, okay, cool. And the tenant gets back, sends me a report, the energy audit, and they recommended more insulation. It's low, it's old. And they said, hey, if you submit this energy audit with any kind of local installation company, we will cover like a few cents per blown in square foot of insulation. So I ended up getting like $500 off of that. And I knew the other property that's in the same neighborhood was getting low. And it's old because the insulation kind of compacts down in the attic. So I already went forward and had that same company go out and give me some quotes on the other property. So then I went ahead and got the other property done at the same time. And then I have been considering, should I do another one, which is a townhouse, and I've been in that attic. It's very tight. And I'm like, oh, okay, how am I going to approach this? It's not a problem right now. That one's a little bit newer, but whatever, just more to come. But I do like the idea of making the properties really efficient, energy efficient, and taking care of them. So all that said, the tenant got the new installation. They gave me the report. I saved some money on that. It's all taken care of. There's no problems. Something else, let me see, I had here. Oh, a dishwasher. The dishwasher I had there, that they're giving me some issues with it. So first off, part of my Listen Isolate Proof Probe, they like last year said, hey, the type of detergent that we use, I think it is the little pods, the lid seems to get stuck sometimes. It doesn't release or whatever. And I said, hey, can you send me pictures of what's going on here? And I'm trying to see if it's user error, because I don't want to be like replacing, stuff and getting technicians to go out and fix stuff when it might be user error. So I suggested, hey, like at my house, I can't use those pods because I know personally that they get stuck and they sometimes fall down and they don't fully dissolve and everything. And so I recommended maybe try the liquid soap because that's what I use at my house. And it was kind of like that acronym that I do, the listening to them. Hey, what's the problem? I'm trying to isolate it. Can you send me pictures? What's going on? And then trying to get proof of the problem. And that's part of like, hey, did you try the liquid soap? Can you try that out and see if that works? And then the probing part would be like, is it really that big of a deal? Like, do you use a dishwasher? How big of a deal is this to you? I hate that this happened to you, and just like trying to understand them and getting them to tell you what's going on with it. And then you go into the solve. Well, that same dishwasher came up again later this year, recently, and they're just like, hey, it's still giving us problems, blah blah blah. And what I suggested is, hey, how about you go to Lowe's or Home Depot online and pick 3 different versions of dishwashers, a price around the same, low, mid, high price, something reasonable that matches the kitchen that you'd be happy with. And then let me know, send me those links and I'll submit them up to the office and see if we can get it replaced. And I know that dishwasher's in there because when I first got that property years ago, like I would say 10 years ago, I drove and got that dishwasher from some kind of business that was going out of business. It was like it wasn't a Circuit City. It was kind of like a Circuit City, I guess. They had like a lot of technology and stuff and appliances, but they went under. I forget the name of it. Anyways, I was driving all around looking for different locations. They're like letting go of everything, clearance and really low prices. And I remember getting that and driving it to the rental and installing it myself and everything. And I know it's really old, so it's one of those things like I don't track the life expectancy of appliances because I don't consider those as major items, major expenses. And so I'm just like, yeah, give me the links and let me see. And I look at them and they think that I'm submitting it up to the office and everything, and like it's a big company and I have to submit this in. My reasoning with that is I want to get them involved. That's that LIPS acronym. It's like where I'm hearing them out. I'm the property manager. I'm trying to help them. Let me get some proof from you and have them take some action. And then I submit it up and they go see prices. They know how expensive this is. And then I pick one. I end up purchasing it with my business account. I have it set to deliver. I send them the shipping and information and let them deal with like coordinating how the delivery and receiving that and all that, and have it installed. Oh, my handyman was addressing something else at that property at this time. I had a slider, and the slider is very old, and the shade for the slider, and it slipped, or the glue or something fell off. And I know which one was there. It was like a shade with a pull cord. And that was something I bought when I worked at some technology company, and they gave us deals on these type of roller shades, these Crestron roller shades or whatever. So I bought it, and I'm the one that installed that. But I'm not going to spend the money and buy what that would cost now because I don't have a deal. So I went on Amazon Business, my business account. I bought the cheap ones that are, I just got the tenant to give me the sizes and say, hey, can you give me the sizes? Is that the dimension of the opening? Is that the dimension of the shade that's there? And give me some pictures. That's me getting them involved. They're happy to, work with me because they're solving a problem that's them, that benefits their quality of life, and they want it to be fixed. And I know I could push back with something like that. I could be like, well, we're not going to replace it. It's not necessary. There's a privacy fence in the back, and then you also have a porch. If you want, you can hang some drapes up or something like that. But these tenants are good tenants. They signed a 2-year lease, and I know that it's old and it's past its life expectancy. So I kind of do stuff like this, especially when it's not putting me out. And I'm not going there and doing anything. So they gave me all the measurements I needed. I purchased the blinds that it's like the one you pull with the rod and it closes. And that's when I was getting my handyman to go install that. But around that time, I told him I was getting a dishwasher, and he said, hey, let me install that. I can do it, much cheaper. I got all the stuff. It's really simple. I'll be there and I'll knock it out. And he gave me a great deal because he told me how much he actually, my handyman works at Home Depot, and he knows all this stuff. So he's a great dude. I love this guy. He's so helpful. So he knocked that out, and he took away the old dishwasher. And I don't even know how he gets rid of this stuff. Like, what did he do with it? But he just knocks this stuff out for me, and he does it really, I want to say economical, like fair prices. Obviously, it's worth his time, and I would pay more if he asked, because he's so valuable to me, and he knows that he's not ripping me off, and he's looking out for me. So it's a really good relationship. So I remember him knocking that out. It was perfect. Those blinds got delivered right the same day or the day before, or something, like right as the dishwasher. So he just knocked all that out in one time, and the tenants were super happy. Let me see what time it is. Oh, I guess I could maybe look at the other ones I had. The clogged drain line, the HVAC drain line in this townhouse. I asked the lady if she's pouring the bleach and the vinegar down. I was like, hey, just out of curiosity, have you watched this video? Just us demonstrating. I'm showing them how to prevent this from happening. And then the same handyman, he said he doesn't mind going by there and sucking out the drain line. She doesn't have any idea how to do any of this stuff, but I do provide a video showing tenants how to do this on their own, if they have an HVAC or they're willing to buy it, or they want to fix their own problem. Because she said there was a leak through the roof, which comes from the HVAC upstairs, the drain line, and it drips into the garage, and it's a known issue. And that was the house that I bought pre-foreclosure short sale when I got out of the military. So I lived there, and I knew of this leak in the garage, and I know that. I was like, man, it was happening to me when I was there, so I can relate. And I don't want to push back on a tenant and be like, hey, you caused this, you failed to flush the drain line and this and that. And when I know it's a known issue, and this handyman's the one that found that problem. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to fight that battle, because I need to get more proof. Hey, what's going on? How do you know it's leaking? Where's it leaking? And stuff like that. And I want to send the handyman out there to look at it, and he coordinates with the tenant, and he solves that. But I asked him, say, hey, when you speak to her, like, can you ask her if she's putting bleach down the drain line? Does she know where to do that? I sent her a video. She didn't get back to me. He's like, oh yeah, I'll take care of it. So it's part of training the tenant, and educating them, because when they buy their own house, they're going to eventually need to know how to do these things. And I'm trying to look at them as like a partner, and setting them up for success. And I'm not nickel and diming and fighting battles that don't matter in the grand scheme of things. I also know this tenant in the townhouse, her lease is coming up at the end of the year, and this year, and I email in advance and say, hey, our office is forecasting. We'd just like to know. If you don't know, it's completely fine. If you don't have any idea, we're just trying to get forecasts for the future, which tenants might be staying with us. And I asked her if she's willing to stay. Does she have any idea? And this is like, I want to say 9 months before her lease ends, because this is just what I do. And I'm like, hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. So she didn't even respond to that email, but I followed up again later, and she's like, yeah, I'm actually thinking about it and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I want to handle this good. This could go wrong. I could make her unhappy, and she may not want to stay with us again. And the rents increase every lease renewal. So if she signs a 1 year or 2 year, the rents are going up regardless. But the thing is like, I don't have any turnover. She stays, and I don't really have any problems with her. She's really great. So these are all kind of the ways that I go about being flexible as a DIY landlord and solving problems without, being strategic with when I'm going to push back on something. A lot of this minor maintenance things are really insignificant. They don't put me out. I'm able to handle it with limited friction and limited, expense from me. And all of it's in the lease. They have a reporting process. Like, I could have had her go with step one, go through the home warranty and get the home warranty to sign a HVAC tech to go out there, and she has to pay the $100 service fee, or my handyman can do it. And the reason why I chose to get the handyman involved is because, like I said, I live there and I know of that problem. He's patched that hole in the garage, and it doesn't matter. It's a garage. He painted it up. It looks nice and everything. So it's not that big of an eyesore. And I'm thinking, like, maybe he might need to address something. He knows about this issue. Let me go in there. It's not worth that. But when I go back to my acronym, my LIPS, that's what I'm always doing. I'm always filling out, hey, can I get some proof? What's going on here before I make a decision to solve stuff? But that's pretty much it. Nobody showed up today, and as I said before, I might be canceling these landlording live pre-games on YouTube but I will be available in the school. So if anybody does see this, or they're interested in having back and forth and learning what's some stuff that I've learned over 10 years of long distance management, then they're welcome to go to foreverlandlord.com and join one of these school communities I got. And other than that, I think that's it for today. I'll see you guys around. Bye.